Welcome to America Salutes. My name is Milton Schoen. I'm the Director of Hennepin County Veterans Service, and today we have Mike Christenson, our guest from Minneapolis Community and Technical College. I want to start today with announcing the fact that Hennepin County has 75 openings for Human Service Representative. It is an entry-level job at Hennepin County. And we have these openings because of the need to hire people for processing people for the Affordable Care Act, the many new people who will be availing themselves of that. And for the first 3 weeks in July of 2013, applications will be taken for those positions, and we'd certainly encourage anyone in our audience to encourage to themselves apply or their family members to apply for a job with Hennepin County. With that, I think we should move to the discussion of Minneapolis Community and Technical College, and I'm aware that you have an open house coming up for this fall semester.
Thank you, Milton. Thanks for having me back. MCTC sure appreciates the partnership with the county. I might add also that MCTC places graduates into Hennepin County often and frequently. In fact, Hennepin County is a top 5 employer for our graduates. We have a human services program, and we're hoping that some of our graduates will also compete for those positions. We have an open house for 130 programs, educational programs that prepare vets and others for the workforce on July 9th from 5 to 7. You'll see the information come up on the screen shortly. And that open house really gives everybody the chance to move around and test certain educational programs. It may not always feel like it to people watching this show, but this economy, especially in Minneapolis, is very hot. The construction economy's been hot for 2 years. It's going to be even hotter for the next 2. You're going to have a Viking stadium. You're going to have thousands of units of residential construction. Minneapolis is, for the 6th year in a row, the leader in residential construction in the metro. So we're hoping that we align our programs well for the purposes of that future workforce, and we're reaching out to vets and others throughout the county to say this is a great place to start your career.
Great. Well, I understand you've added a partnership with Augsburg College, and you've got some important news on the nursing front.
Thanks, Milt. Thanks for asking about that. For almost 20 years, Hennepin County Commissioner Peter McLaughlin has led an effort in the Phillips neighborhood to get people on health career tracks. And you know, MCTC serves well and partners well with the county in serving populations that need employment opportunities. Well, healthcare is an ideal ladder up. You can become a certified nursing aide, a radiological technician, you can move into nursing. We have people from Phillips who have moved into physician jobs long term. So you can move all the way up that ladder, that graduated ladder. We are happy to announce this fall we have a 3-year baccalaureate nursing program, 2 years at MCTC and 1 year at Augsburg, and almost full-time throughout the year enrollment. So we'll have 102 nurses starting in August on a health careers track to nursing, and they're going to get to their baccalaureate in 3 years. They also have close partnerships with HCMC, Children's Hospital, and other employers in the healthcare corridor that marks the city of Minneapolis.
Right, and Minneapolis has got HCMC, we've got the VA just across the city line, we've got Fairview University, we've got another teaching hospital across the river at Regions, and we've got Abbott Northwestern and Children's, and we are healthcare is a very big driver of our economy here. 17%
of Minneapolis residents work in healthcare. 7 major health systems in Minneapolis. You named them all, and then there's Fairview. Fairview has, of course, their Amplatz Hospital campus on Riverside, and they're major players as well in the healthcare economy. But it's huge in Minneapolis, and it has been for a long time. And your county board has done a wonderful job of reaching out, again, into the challenged neighborhoods on the north side through North Point, and on the south side through Project for Pride in Living, to make sure that people understand that they're a credential away from a really good career that moves them up into the middle class and moves up their household incomes.
And Well, healthcare is a major driver, and on prior programs we've mentioned the construction, but it's not just the construction jobs that you've had a high rate of placement on. Could you tell us about some of those other jobs that are much in demand?
Sure, Milt. Let me talk first about construction, though. Again, this is a hot economy. Since I was here last, and thank you for inviting me back, we've had two high-profile visits on campus. One, the chair of the Stadium Authority, Michelle Kelm-Helgen, came and gave a speech about the stadium, its design, and the occupational categories that will serve that construction project. There will be 1,200 electricians on that project. And so we have an electricity class right now that will feed that stadium project perfectly. We're in complete alignment. The second visit to our campus was from Ken Sorensen, who's the Vice President of Mortenson, who asked for our continued partnership. We're partnering with Mortenson now on a major rehab project on our campus. They're going to move that partnership over to the stadium, where he's asking for our help in feeding these specialty trades. So people who are interested in HVAC and some of our other specialty trades, welding and electricity, should contact JoyWise on our campus. For veterans at MCTC and in the community, you can sign up for Veterans Upward Bound at our campus, and JoyWise directs that program. You'll see her contact information on the screen. So we'd sure appreciate it if veterans looking for employment opportunities in construction trades would give Joy a call.
Well, we've referred many people to Veterans Upward Bound, and we know that it's a great program in getting veterans ready to go back to school, people who've been out of school for some time, and preparing them so they can succeed, because you just don't want to enter school. You want to complete it, and that project has a very positive impact on individuals' ability to succeed.
Well, and Milt, we appreciate your office's partnership with us. For your office to work with veterans and then refer into these educational tracks is key, and that's what we're really counting on from shows like this, reaching out to families with veterans who are looking for employment opportunities and saying, within 2 years, for the most affordable tuition you'll find in Minneapolis, we'll get you on track in solid careers, in construction, on the stadium, or on major apartment building projects throughout Minneapolis. I should also note, you'll see on the screen these other fields we train into. What we tried to show you on the screen is how affordable an MCTC education is. You and I talked about student loans and some of the nightmares that households throughout the country are facing now on big student loans. That's not the problem in the two-year institutions. In the two-year institutions, for $10,000 to $12,000, we're going to get you a career with a wage in the area of $20 an hour or more. One of the programs you'll see on this graphic is polysomnography, which is sleep therapy. And sleep therapy is now a very hot field. People with sleep apnea need help in the lab. We train into that program. Everybody gets jobs. Mm-hmm. And the average wage is $27 an hour.
That's great. And so it's not just one area that's hot, construction, but you've got the healthcare mm-hmm. jobs, you've got many jobs that are in demand, and you have relationships with employers, which is critical, so you can help your graduates succeed in the private economy.
Correct. We spend a lot of time with healthcare employers. Obviously, we developed this nursing program, this 3-year nursing program with our key employers. We've sat down with several and briefed them, including your sister institution, I guess your nonprofit sister at HCMC. So we're very pleased to be a part of this growing economy. People will, of course, be tempted to move straight into the economy without a credential. In healthcare, that's not going to work. We've seen entry-level jobs decline as a percentage of the healthcare economy. You must have a credential. You must have a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. And really, in nursing, the whole reason we're going to a baccalaureate program is the hospitals are telling us we want baccalaureate nurses.
And that's a critical point that you mentioned. You are able to train people and get them ready for employment in today's market but you're credentialing them so even if the market gets tighter at some time, they have a skill that is marketable going forward, and it's not as if you're working in the oil patch in North Dakota and they'll hire anybody right now, but if that goes south someday and you don't have any skills, you may be challenged finding a job.
In this state and others. If you're credentialed in nursing in this state, you can move to 49 other states tomorrow and get a job. If you're credentialed as a construction trades worker, you can move on to the next job. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get people through what appears to them fields with patches of unemployment to sustainable careers where you may have no unemployment. You may have no lapses, especially in this economy, in a construction trades field that is pretty accustomed to them. And so we think these are great jobs and a great economy, and we're preparing people quickly and affordably to get into them.
Good. And veterans can use their federal GI Bill to go to your school. And I should mention that the last session of the legislature passed an enhancement to the state GI Bill that can pay $1,000 a semester up to $3,000 a year for an individual. And so if somebody's federal GI Bill is expired, they can still qualify for the state GI Bill, and they can use that at your institution too.
Correct, Milt. And that's why we put Joy Wise's contact information on the screen for those veterans out there who are looking for educational opportunity. Joy is briefed not only on the programs I described, but also the kind of financial aid and supports that veterans get at MCTC. We have 150 vets now in Upward Bound. Now we'd like to see a cohort of these vets organize around one of these programs. For example, we have several vets in our machine tooling program. And our machine tooling program now places into companies like Graco. There's another big growing Minneapolis company. The last 4 of our machine tooling graduates went straight into Graco and are doing very well at that fine Minneapolis company. So we'd like to see a big group of people who may have served together in Afghanistan or Iraq come together in a cohort around one of these programs, and Joy's helping us try to recruit.
And very good. And you also mentioned, when you mentioned electricians, they're in demand for work that will be done on the Viking Stadium, but we do have 2 light rail projects that are coming online, and much of the work on the light rail involves electricians.
Correct. We have been blessed too with the Federal Transit Administration grant. Thank you, President Obama and FTA, to MCTC and a group of community colleges and Metro Transit, because the catenary, as they call it in the light rail field, is in fact with us now, and mass transit, which used to be about driving and fixing buses, is also about electricity. It's a big new workforce, and so Metro Transit has asked for our assistance in training the next generation of electricians into light rail. So, yeah, our key driver with recruiting students into our programs is not just to get them ready for a project, it's to get them ready for a career, and that electricity career is really lining up well for residents of this city.
And then I suspect Metro Transit, there are jobs that they have to maintain the system. It's an electrical system, and they have not only the construction phase, but they have the operations phase that they need skilled people to maintain and operate that system.
Yes, and they have expressed their interest in a partnership with us long term. And again, everybody that's coming out of our electricity programs is getting well-paid positions in the economy, and those governmental jobs are very attractive.
Do you find that sometimes people there's a time warp that people look at where the economy was and they're not quite aware of the opportunities that exist today?
There is no question that's true. A lot of people's head or attention is still directed to recessionary times, and there are parts of the economy that are sluggish, but not building. not construction trades, not healthcare at all. There's no slowdown. Fairview had 880 openings last week, and 170 of those were nurses. Very few of those were credentialed positions, but they had a lot of openings, and those are postings that everybody can see online. So my point to the veterans out there who may have served as medics in the field is there's another healthcare credential out there for you, and there are plenty of jobs. It may take a year or two to get those positions, but we have openings in our healthcare programs right now that will put people on solid career tracks, perhaps for the rest of their careers if they want.
Now, maybe you can explain that we've had a transition in nursing where the hours worked went up during the Great Recession, and they're evolving now, and how that plays out. It means that there will be a need for more nurses going forward.
And we're seeing this. Children's also reported last week almost 200 vacancies. So, and again, a lot of those are nursing. Here's what's going on. Nursing is often a second income in a family. When the private sector declines, when there's a recession and you have private sector issues, nursing takes up the slack in some of those households. So what we saw in the recession was the average nursing FTE, that is a full-time equivalent, go from 0.6 to 0.7 or 0.8 at some hospitals. In other words, the nursing occupation in the household is carrying more of the load. Well, guess what? The economy's hot again, and a partner or spouse in a nursing household may be carrying her weight more than ever at the brokerage firm, and the nurse partner in the household can trim her or his nursing time. So what's going on here is nursing FTEs are starting to decline as a percentage of total work time. So the average nurse may at some point in this economy work half-time. So that means more opportunity for more people and more nursing hours that need to be absorbed.
Okay, well, we're in our last half minute or so here. What do you think is the most important message that you'd like to get out to people? And I suspect you want them to attend the open house on July 9th.
July 9th, we will be featuring again 130 programs, including all these programs that are hiring into the workforce. 5 p.m. start. Come to 1501 Hennepin Avenue. We'll be there to greet you. I will escort you personally to one of the tables that we've set up across these programs, and we'll get you set up with the kind of career opportunity that you're looking for.
Very good. Well, Mike Christenson, I want to thank you for being our guest today and for informing our audience, and we hope that many of them take advantage of the information that you've given them today.
Milt, thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and thanks for wearing that nice shark tie.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thanks for America Salutes.